Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. You're mighty enough to forgive, and you are mighty enough to move on. I like that because it's forgiveness and moving on in the same breath. You know? As an individual, I'm very picky about how I define or describe forgiveness. I like what a subscriber, it was a comment that they left under a short, and they left it in a different language. So I translated it to see what it was because I knew it was going to be good. But they said, forgiveness does not always mean immediate reconciliation. I always say it doesn't require you to walk off into the sunset with somebody holding hands. You know, sometimes you forgive a person and you never speak to them again. But the forgiveness is for you. So Divine said you are mighty enough to forgive, or we could say to let go of resentment, to let go of burden or anger, and to move on. So we'll see what this moving on looks like. Is it moving on within a relationship or moving on without a relationship? It could be both. For some beings, you could be continuing. Or for a being, you could be continuing in a relationship. And for others, you might be saying, I'm not going to carry this hatred with me because it's too heavy of a burden. But I release you and we can go along our own ways. Okay, so we'll see what comes through. But yeah, whatever it is that needs to be released, beautiful being, you have the power to do that. Okay, they're saying start with the empath oracle. Thank you, Spirit. What's coming through for this beautiful being? What message is coming through for them? Practicing daily spirituality. You're in the flow 24/7. Your spirituality is a way of life. It's not just something that you do to impress others or to be in a certain circle or to be seen a certain way. Your spiritual nature is who you are. It's a part of your daily life. And there's something that you're doing, a ritual or a practice, maybe meditation, maybe just getting quiet, maybe just going outside and connecting with the elements. The sun and the wind are coming through. I'm seeing you feel the sun's rays on you and feeling the wind, the breeze. But whatever you're doing, some of you might be connecting with the rain as well. I love that. I love a good rainy day now. But however you're connecting with the elements, you are connecting with spirit. Beings that remind you that life is greater than just the self. And this brings you peace. This brings you a reminder that you are divinely blessed and nurtured and cared for. That Mother Earth loves you. that the elements support you. You might hear the whispers of your ancestors guiding you. You might see flashes of an ancestor just reminding you that they're there, or you might hear birds chirping and you know that that's a sign that a loved one is with you. You are spiritual. You don't just do spiritual things. You are spiritual because this is your way. And this has helped you on a journey of letting go. It is helping you. I feel like we're always letting go. We always got something else to let go of, right? Because somebody's always doing something crazy, right? So we always got something to let go of. And I feel like you're getting really good at loving yourself enough to know that you don't have to harbor anger towards them, because that only harms you in the end. You might not be a fan of somebody, and you don't have to be, but you already know that carrying hatred in your heart for anyone, that harms us more than the person who hurt us. Because a lot of times the people who hurt us aren't even thinking about us anymore. Sometimes there are people who just don't ever want to let go. They want to hold on for dear life. Okay, but in a lot of cases, the people who offend us, they go on about their business, and it's like, are we really going to sit around wasting our energy thinking about somebody who's not thinking about us? But I'm getting also that there are beings who have hurt you, and they do still think about you, but you have had to let them go as well. That might be sort of a continual clearing that you do. People who want to lurk and remain in your energy, you're constantly just releasing those cords that they're trying to reattach. And it's your daily practice, it's your daily rituals that you do that keep you in such a high vibe state that more and more and more, those beings who want to lurk and stalk, you feel their energy less and less. It's more like you are aware of it, but you just remain in your high vibe state and you don't let it bother you. Okay, you confronted inner demons. Anything that has happened around you, like any sort of conflict, you've handled it externally, but you've also handled it internally, which is why you're winning. That's why you're winning, is because as you were learning to let go of hurtful things that happened between you and other people, you've also let go of things within that may have been holding you back. Fears, shame. You've been doing a lot of work. I hope that you're proud. I'm proud of you. I hope that you're proud of yourself, because I can feel the energy of the work that you do. And it's beautiful. Examining self-identity. This is something that you've done that's brought balance, where you have looked within. You haven't been too proud to say, what can I do to bring peace to this situation? Is there anything within me that I can release or overcome or accept? that allows me to experience what I want to feel, whatever it is that you want to feel. I'm getting peace. You want to feel peace? You've been willing to ask yourself the tough questions that have gotten you to the right answers. That's the thing. When we're brave enough to ask the tough questions that maybe make us uncomfortable, well, what can I do? How can I grow? Is there something about myself that I'm not embracing or loving? How can I love myself more through this situation? When we ask ourselves the tough questions, you know, high risk, high reward. Those tough questions lead us to so much abundance and so much peace. Because those are the questions that matter. And that get us to where we desire to be, which is in a state of flow. I heard somebody say the other day that flow is earned. Being in a state of flow is earned. It's not something that, because of this matrix, you know, if it weren't for the matrix, babies would be born and they would just stay in a state of flow because we're born in a state of flow, you know, and they would remain in that beautiful way. But we experience trauma and abuse and neglect and rejection, and then we feel fear and pain and anguish and all of this. And so we find ourselves getting through all of that in order to find our peace. Realizing that it's there, we just gotta get all this other stuff that we've experienced, separate that so that we can see who we truly are. And sometimes it's separation and sometimes it's integration. It's both. Okay? Some of everything. Choosing experiences wisely. And this number is standing out to me. This is card 17. This is what really does it for you at this point in time. It's like this is the ding 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 for this reading, is where Spirit is guiding you to choose experiences wisely. With card 17, that's your star energy. That's what truly brings you the ultimate level of hope and healing in your world. Choosing your experiences wisely. So we're going to see what needs to be chosen wisely. I thought they would take me to the tarot, but they're saying this career deck. Okay, Spirit. What needs to be known here about choosing experiences wisely? Okay, we've got seal, a business contract, documents, treasure, and coffin. Whoa. So they're saying that there's something here that would be a bad investment. It would bring financial challenges. It feels something like office work or something. Okay. Okay, we going Spirit went like skirt. I'm like, okay. All right, so we've got here seal. There's something about a promise, some sort of deal, business deal that someone was trying to make or offer you, or perhaps this was something that you were seeking. I see a seal here that looks like some sort of government stamp or seal. So this could be pertaining to a government, some aspect of the government. It could be a job. Okay, okay. This is something that feels like very lucrative because it's the promise of, it's something very official. This could be like a government job, or maybe, you know, I'm thinking about my experience. It could be even like a job with the public school system. It's something pertaining to a business or an office or an administration within the government, okay? Very lucrative. Because there's a treasure there, right? it seems like it promises, you know, maybe it's a 401k or a 403b, or what else do those kinds of jobs offer? Great benefits, you know. Okay, health insurance, all the things, right? All the things. But coffin, I'm gazing at my Pluto poster and my Uranus poster. So Pluto is coffin energy. There's something about this that would lead to an ending, okay? Or this could be something that's already happened. You know, these readings could be past, present, future. But there's something about this very official, highly esteemed, highly respected by a lot of people type of job or career that would lead to a feeling of death within you. And I know that might sound very, but it feels like I'm seeing you with all of these flowers, and it's like a field of poppies I'm seeing. It's so beautiful. And they're like red orange. You might like that color. But they're beautiful, and I see you like running through the field, and the flowers are blossoming, and you're blossoming, and the sun is shining, and it's so beautiful, and you have so much life. That's you on any given day or night. That's your energy. And it's something about this career that just, like, all of the flowers are wilting, and you're just like falling to the ground in this beautiful field that these flowers are now wilting, and you're just like weeping. And it feels like that's what this job does to you. And we're in minute 17. And that's this card 17. Choosing experiences wisely. Okay, Spirit. Okay, they said the crow. They keep saying the crow's nose. I'm like, the crow's nose. Okay, so that's funny to me because okay, anyway. So look, I split the deck at this is my Crow Tarot. It's 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. So it almost feels like, okay, if you have been feeling any sort of obsessive desire to hold on to money or to do things strictly for money, not out of a desire to maintain your well-being and all of that. And here's the thing, I know that sometimes we are in situations that we don't really have the options that we would like, okay? So I want to acknowledge that, okay? I don't want that to be a point of frustration, like, well, I have to take the job because, you know, I get it. And please remember that this reading is for multiple people. So take what resonates with you, okay? But what Spirit is bringing through is that in this consideration of 4 of Pentacles, where you want to put your stability first, just remember that financial stability is not the only type of stability that matters. It is also about your well-being. It is also about your health, okay? Because there's something about this 5 of Pentacles where it's like, you know, having the salary and the benefits and all of that is great, but if you feel like you're not well, because 5 of Pentacles, it can be poverty, but I'm not getting that here because this job brings a lot of money. It's that having the money would come at a very steep price. And the question is that price worth it? Okay. I have been in a situation where I was earning a good amount of money. I mean, teachers don't make the most, but I got a lot of education to make sure that I could max out for my salary as a teacher. And so, I mean, it was okay, you know. But I also was extremely unhappy because I wasn't doing a lot of what I went into teaching to do. I actually wasn't teaching that much. I was doing other things that I was assigned to do because, and that could be something that's happening here. I'm getting that you are a very dedicated person, and that comes across in your work ethic, and so people might try to take advantage of that and overwork you. I know that's what happened to me. I was so excited to work with kids and to teach, and I love teaching and I was great at it, but when my administrators saw that, they would put me here and put me there and doing all kinds of stuff that I should not have been doing. And what I didn't realize at that time was that I needed to put my foot down and say, I'm not going to do that. And they try to get you as a teacher where they're like, they put in your contract and all other duties as assigned. So basically, you do whatever we tell you to do, okay? And you know, they try to instill fear in you and all of that stuff. So there could be something here about with this business contract. I feel like what Spirit is saying is that if you do go for this job, negotiate. Like, go in there and negotiate certain aspects of this job where you will know that you have the security of saying, but that's not in my job description. Or you agreed that I could leave at 4 o'clock on the dot so that I can be on time to get my kids, or you know what I'm saying? If you do go for this position, make sure that you negotiate whatever it is that you need before you take this job, because that is when you have the most power. Once you sign a contract, or once you are there and they've got you on the job. Now this came through in the last reading, but it's relevant because it came right there. Yeah, see, you don't want to be in this situation where you're feeling like you need a lifeboat or a lifesaver. Because what I'm getting is that the people on this job, like, that's the culture. They reel you in, and then they put you in situations where you feel like you need to be rescued. It really feels kind of toxic. We've got 5 of Wands and King of Cups here. Yeah, you're coming through as the King of Cups, and see, that's the stability that matters to you right now the most, is your emotional stability, because you're coming through as the King of Cups. You're very balanced. You like for your cup to be full, you like to be nurtured, and you might also be energetically sensitive where you can feel the energy of people around you, but there's something about this position where, and I just got that, okay, it might not be an office, it could be an office location or environment, but it could also be like where let's say if you're able to telework, but then they micromanage. So let's say if they're like, if you say in the interview process, well, can I telework? Is telework available? And they're like, yes. Well, ask how much. Ask how much. Ask how many days. Am I going to be hassled? You know? Negotiate all the things that you need if you take this job. If you have the option of not taking the job, then don't. Like, if there's something else that you can do that opens up your schedule more and allows you to have more flexibility, then do that. I feel like with the King of Cups, you could be very artistic. You could be very creative, okay? I'm hearing you channel, okay? You hear the voice of the divine, and you might be hearing the voice of the divine saying, don't take that job. Or it might be speaking to you and saying, make sure you negotiate everything that you need. Because for some of you, I'm seeing this for some of you, you could have the opportunity to negotiate exactly what you need so that this could be a good situation. Okay, yes, because I'm seeing that here with the 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands. It's like there is a way that you could make sure that you have the balance that you need. in the planning process. But you're going to have to do it in the planning process, not once you've signed on the dotted line or taken the job and they've got you, I'm hearing under lock and key. Okay, I don't usually say that, but could have something to do with security or something. Two of Cups and Death. There's something here about the effect of this job on a relationship. So it could potentially have put a lot of strain on a relationship in your life that is precious to you. But this could also be your relationship with spirit. Okay, with you coming through as the King of Cups, your time with spirit is important. Your time where you're meditating, talking to your spirits, that could be a challenge if you were to take this job, and especially if you take it and you don't negotiate what you need in the planning process. Okay, you've got Emperor and Knight of Wands here. Emperor and Knight of Wands. Let's see what I want to oh, we got Six of Swords, Three of Wands, Judgment, and Page of Pentacles. Huh. Chariot and Wheel of Fortune. You know, if there is something here that you're able to do other than this, then do that. Like if you have options, because with the Chariot and Judgment and Wheel of Fortune, there's an opportunity with the Page of Pentacles that is so, like, it might not seem as lucrative, but it's beneficial for you in the long run because it comes along with the Emperor. That's what I'm getting, is that there's another situation here where you could be an emperor. Maybe that's going into business for yourself. Another thing I'm getting is an option could be like with this secure job, if you could work part-time, or like it came through before, if you could telework, and then you'd have the time and energy that you need in order to work on this other thing, that it's something that's soul driven. And this is a wake-up call coming through where divine is saying, don't stop what you're doing now. This could be something that you're already working on, a creative project, where spirit is like, don't get sidetracked. This could also be because at the time that I am recording this, there's like high prices, at least in the States right now. Gas is high, groceries are high, everything. It's just like, okay. So that's got a lot of people trying to cut corners in other ways so that they can pay their bills and do all of the things that they need to do. Yeah. Divine is saying to be creative, especially regarding this other opportunity, which would only be an opportunity if you realize that you are the Emperor. Okay? You are the Emperor. I know you came through as the King of Cups, beautiful being, and you have this loving, spiritual nature. But Spirit is saying, if you're going to negotiate with this other job, be the Emperor. And be like, this is what I need. And how can we make that happen? Can you make that happen? You know, like be very self-assured. And you are the King of Cups. So this is something that you could open up to Spirit with, where you're like, okay, what are all the things that I would need to ask for to negotiate with this job in order to maintain work-life balance, in order to be able to still move forward with this divine, destined, lucky opportunity that comes through. I just want to mention that it came through with the Wheel of Fortune, the Chariot, Judgment, the Emperor, and Page of Pentacles. Like whatever this is. Oh, and it was Seven of Swords. Well, that changes things a little bit, because you know what? That Seven of Swords lets me know that this other job, okay, this like very, what seems to be a secure job, it could definitely present there would be a need to really balance your time and your energy in order to keep going with your creative endeavor here, because the Seven of Swords it does feel like there's some toxic energy with that job. So if you're able to telework and get away from people or maybe ask for an office that's far away from potential troublemakers or something like that. Any other guidance regarding this other job, Spirit? The Hermit. Yes. What did I just say? Stay away from the troublemakers. Ask for an office on the other side. Maybe there's another building that you could work in. You know, they're like, would you like a cubicle? Or would you like an office over in the corner? All the way over there. All the way over there. It's a long walk though from all your meeting. That's okay. I'll get some exercise. All the way over there. You know, it's something like that. So, and also keeping in mind that your stability is more than just finances. It's your emotional well-being. It's your spiritual well-being. Also, there's something about if you are working in an environment with other people, protect your energy within your work environment. So make sure that you keep your boundaries up. Like, you can close your door. You can have office hours if it's that kind of situation where people would come in and intrude. Protect your physical space. I'm getting that this could be an office where there's like people that don't respect boundaries. Okay. Is there anything that needs to come through about that, Spirit? Like any of the specific energies that would come through or try to pose a threat there within this work situation? Okay, somebody who likes to be the hero or the heroine, somebody who likes to be the come to the rescue type. Like, oh, this seems like a person that would sabotage something and then be like, oh, but I can save the day. Yeah, it's a saboteur. It's someone who wants to sabotage something. Yeah, a seeker, somebody who seeks attention, somebody who seeks praise, and they like to sabotage other people in order to get that praise, to look like the winner all the time. It could be a charmer as well. This could be something, it doesn't have to be prince, it could be prince, princess, but somebody who's an office flirt, somebody who does not keep their hands to themselves. The word handsy is coming to me, like somebody who just get away. Okay, because sometimes that's a way that people like to put energy on you. You know, like if they want to influence a person. All right, this could be like an office honeypot type. All right, it could be somebody who's very lustful, somebody who likes to, I heard run through them, like run through people, like they just like to stack their numbers and see who they can charm. And then they brag about who they've had, who they've been with in the office or in this work environment. Ew. Yeah, I'm seeing these hands here, like I'm hearing hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself is what I'm seeing. So be aware of that as well. Okay, and then, oh, okay, be very aware. We've also got this energy here. There's definitely a lot of lust in this office environment. Or I keep saying office, but it could be any kind of work environment, okay? But there's somebody who could potentially be in a situation where they're supposed to show you the ropes or be a mentor, but they like to sabotage people because they're coming through as a destroyer. So if this is somebody that you would have to encounter, just whatever information they have to give, receive it. You know, like just take it. Like if they give you a pamphlet or if they give you send you files that you need to know or whatever, fine, okay. But if they say, would you like to go to this training together, is it mandatory? Is that something I can do at a later date by myself once I've gotten used to the environment a bit? Okay, you know, kind of like slow your roll, like with this person, like look, give them that vibe, like slow your roll. Okay, in other words, from the very beginning, you would want to start setting boundaries with everybody in this environment. That I can clearly see now why Divine is like, if there is another situation that is better for you, or if you can negotiate as little contact with these people as possible, if you were to take the position. Yeah, I just, even the way that came out is like, So yeah, I hope that this was helpful, beautiful being, because this is a very specific situation, but Divine was definitely bringing through, I just looked at this, some hard truths here. So these could be some things that you didn't really want to hear about this work situation, but if this is your reading, you were already kind of feeling some of this, and this is just confirming for you. So definitely don't stop at this reading. You know, you can meditate on your own and see what guidance your spirits are bringing through. Also, you can do some more research on the company. If you have not accepted a position with them yet, you can do some more research on the company and maybe, you know, see if there's another opportunity that would be a better fit for you. And if it is something that you must do right now for financial reasons, then just be open to some of the guidance that came through and ask your spirits, like, what can I negotiate to make this a better situation? Also, another thing that's coming through to me is like you could go online and read some of the reviews on the company, if there are any, and see what, sometimes it's just toxic gossip, right? Somebody's just mad and they just want to let them have it, you know, with a review. But it's coming through that this place is toxic. So you could read some reviews and gather from that some ways in which you could negotiate, you know, having your own space, having a space that's removed from other people, and then going in not in a rude way, but a way where you are prepared to set your boundaries, closing your door when you need to, setting office hours, and establishing personal space boundaries, where if somebody's trying to flirt with you and they're coming into your space, just letting them know, shake my hand, we don't hug, we don't kiss, we don't do all of that, you know what I'm saying? So just things like that could be very helpful. I'm going to close with Enchanted Forest Spirits Oracle deck to see what blessings are. Oh, clear vision. So you have the vision that you need, beautiful being, to know exactly what to do in this situation. Divine brought through a lot of detailed info. But look, you're going to be happy. You know why? Because you're a beautiful being and you deserve it. You deserve happiness. You are the King of Cups. And the main message that I'm getting right now is don't let this environment or any toxic being or any toxic environment make you forget your magic and your connection to spirit, because this right here is what you deserve. You deserve to be in nature. You deserve, oh, that's the hawk spirit. Yeah, you got great vision. Look. And see, that lets me know that whatever situation this is, you have the perspective that you need to make the right choices. Okay? Hidden wonder. You know what I'm getting? I feel like there is going to be a hidden, like, oh, I heard a hidden loophole. So it could be something where things are set up for you in that work situation that it just kind of like, you'll know that, yeah, okay, I can telework, I'll be okay. Or, you know, there's another job opening that's in a better situation, or maybe you're going full-time with your creative endeavor. Okay, some of you will be able to do that. It might be a little scary, but you might be able to work that out along with maybe something part-time that, even though it's not as maybe prestigious or whatever, at the end of the day, the most wonderful thing you can do is have your bills paid, be safe, be secure, be stable, but also be nurtured in your well-being. So at that point, prestige is not that important. You know what I mean? A lot of people have fancy jobs that take them through the ringer, you know? It's like, is it really worth it? And there's nothing wrong with a fancy job if it makes you happy, but having a fancy job just to have a fancy job is not, Bam. Boundaries. Okay? You are going to have to look a couple people square in the eye and be like, no ma'am. No sir. Okay? There's something here about igniting change. Look, it says burn away the old and forge a new path to face the world with purpose and determination. So it really does feel like what Spirit is leading you to, even if it's not at this point in time, but when you can, beautiful being. I just like to be sensitive to financial things because I know that, you know, there's practical things that we have to do sometimes. But you are being encouraged to forge your own path, not to do what everybody else has done. And it might involve making a choice that doesn't feel that safe. But there will be trust involved, and there will be trust that's required in order to forge your own path with fire. And, you know, that's creative energy. I feel like ultimately you are a creator. You might be starting your own business, or I feel like it's either a business of yours or a creative endeavor, or maybe the marriage of the two. Okay, you do something creatively that earns you money, but this is ultimately what Spirit is saying to do. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, get in touch with that hedgehog spirit. He's so cute. Oh my gosh. Don't touch me. Okay. Thank you, Spirit, for these messages. I'm so grateful that you allowed this message to flow through me to this beautiful being. And I am so grateful to you for taking the time to tune in. I appreciate you so much. I also appreciate your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscribes, your hypes, your donations, all of the love that you give to me and to this space, this community. I am so grateful for it. Thank you. And I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.